cut my hair. It looks crazy, right? It looks funny. There is something which I really don't. There's something which does not bother me. One of them is the hair, because I know at the end of the day it's going to grow again. So I cut it till come, so it will not stop growing. Even I'm not really worried about the hair. But one time to take a decision to cut my hair, it's up to the point where it is really irritating me. I feel I don't want it. So I cut it. I don't know if it happened to you as well. That if it is too much, you want to cut it. So I did it. And sometimes we need to look new, right? Look new, but not weird. But you can look new at least. So we are beginning the class now. And I'd like to say that this class is very, 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 very important. Very, 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 very important. Because it is the heart of database designer. If you want to be a super, I'm not sure if you have had something called GRU. I'm not sure if you have in your language. GRU in Indian language means like a god of something or a prophet of something. If you want to be a super person in the database design, this topic will really help you can survive. If you can master it, yes, it's very good. What you have seen in the previous as well, if you understand the foreign key, primary key, or constraints, then you are really settled. But before we begin, I have this sharing with you, which goes like this. But everything should be done in fitting and orderly way. Everything you do, you need to think this verse. I think it's one of the verse which I put in the course outline, which we need to reflect in every studies which we do. So order is very important because it helps us to survive and it helps us to, to be the people who really know what they want. So if there is no order, it's very, very difficult. So for this, there is a reflection which I pointed here. You can take it. Number one, maintaining in order in one studies is essential for academic success. So if you maintain your order in academic success, it will help you a lot. So you need to think about it. Another one, to do these things in orderly way, time management is very crucial. So we need to understand the time we are living in and the time which we spend as well. So these are the two reflections which I want you to ponder upon. And as we begin the class, I request one thing which I have observed from you. Kindly try to master yourself in the terms of using a mobile phone. Don't pick them during the class. Just focus. It's time to teach. Focus. Wonderful. Focus. Because I cannot tell you you are using mobile phone, you are mature enough to manage yourself, right? So I give you a privilege to do so. I just want to bring as a reminder that, if it's a time for study, enjoy it. Do it. If it's a time to relax during the break time, pick them, call girlfriend, boyfriend, everybody, do it. But if it's a time for study, study as well. Don't play games. Don't, go do this. So be in order. Be the orderly people in every aspect which you do. So if you tempted to use a mobile phone, remember it's a time to study and keep focusing, so it will help you a lot. So this is what I want to share with you before we begin as a prerequisite and as an observation which I've seen in your during the classes. Okay. So before we jump into this one, let's have a word of prayer. Dear God, we thank you for this afternoon, or evening. You tell us that we need to be the people in order to be success. Many times we struggle to be in order from the dormitory, from a house, from the classes, but we pray that you put us in order so that we can understand, your purpose in our lives. Be with us as we begin this class. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Addition to this, time is very short of what we need to study because next week it seems like the whole week is the holiday, right? I'm gonna miss you guys. So yeah, I'm gonna miss you for a week or 2 weeks. 2 weeks. Oh my goodness. How will I live without you guys? 2 weeks. Yes, please. Huh? You came late. We finished that topic. He says that I'm looking handsome because he came late. I'm a handsome guy. You too are handsome. You need to be proud of whom God has made you, right? So yeah, everybody's handsome. Seriously, everybody's unique. But I don't think everybody's the primary key. Right? We are unique but not primary keys. Right. Yeah, that's what. Yeah. So I was mentioning that the next 2 weeks is gonna be busy. Wednesday, I will not give you quiz, but I'll give you quiz right after your break. Okay? Yes. And during break, I will not give you assignment. Okay? So holiday is a holiday, go enjoy. But right after the what? The break? Oh, no. Come and see. Okay? Right after the break, we shall have the quiz on chapter 5 and this chapter also which I'm going to teach today. And also, remember, we shall also have a quiz on constraints like foreign key and primary keys. Okay? So during what? During the midterm exam, I have asked you check-in. I didn't ask you unique keys, right? There was no unique. Yeah, was a check-in, right? Unique was there? Unique and default. So that, don't study them. So I will ask you foreign key and primary key, and this chapter is.
Like, what are the criteria what you're gonna ask you to on team so that you know?
The criteria.
Yeah, like what are the chapters coming and what's the
I'm mentioning.
Yeah.
The previous chapter 5 and this chapter which I'm going to teach now. So this will come into your quiz right after the break.
Those 2 chapters and content.
Yeah, yes, because of course, sorry, pardon me. We're still yes. We're still saying something.
Those 2 chapters and content, right?
Yeah, that's all. Because if you look carefully, we cannot study these 2 chapters without learning constraints. It cannot give a good flavor. So in order to make a best flavor, you have to mix and see how it's gonna be. There is a friend of mine who likes to mix banana. What else in a smoothie? Mr. Arvin. In a smoothie, what flavor do you like? Banana and strawberry. Strawberry banana. So he likes to mix. Mango? So he told me it's the best, and he really made me love it. So we need to mix and see what will be the best. So we cannot be able to study the 2 chapters without having the primary keys constraints just as a mix. Okay, so now today we're going to look about this chapter, normalization of the database table. I mentioned that this is the heart, the lungs of database designers. During your project in the final semester, this will stress you a lot. Once you crack this one, then your entire system will be okay. You'll be able to fix it. But if um, your database is not normalized, then you are going to face a lot of problems, because there are there are different ways of designing a table. From the beginning, we designed the tables, right? We created tables. We put whatever things we want. There was no proper order to follow till we start to introduce the constraints, such as null, unique, and what else? Check-in, primary key, and the foreign key. So before that one, we were doing whatever things we want. So now we are going to look how these constraints play important role in database design under the name of normalization. Okay, under the name of normalization. So this is what you'll be able to achieve right after this course. You'll be able to explain normalization, the law of database design process, types of normalization, which are fast NF. It's like these are like 10 commandments in the Bible. 6, right? Here we have like the commandment of database design. One is fast NF, which stands for fast normalization form, fast normal form. Second NF, second normal form. Third NF means third normal form. BCNF or Boy's Code normal form, it came in, right? And fourth is a fourth normal form. You can't be on number 4 without starting on number 1. It's like the rudder to climbing the stairs. To climb the stairs by foot, because you can climb it by a drone, so you don't need to go from the beginning. So if you climb the stairs by your foot, until unless you jump, even if you jump the fast, you go to that one. So here, you cannot go to the second without knowing the first. You can't go third without knowing the second, which affect the first as well. So this is what we're going to see now. So you'll be able to apply this normalization. You can also use the rules of normal form to evaluate if the database is well designed. Okay, if the database is well designed. So now we look, number 1, what does it mean, normalization? The first meaning of normalization is as follows. Normalization means to evaluate and have a corrected table structure to minimize data redundancy. Means you want to evaluate the data structure in database. It's quite, hard to understand to get it. I will give you an example, which will be more easy. I think I prepared a simple definition for this one, which can help you to understand what does this normalization mean. Right. So yes, this is one of the first thing which you can understand. You can say normalization is used to evaluate and correct the table structure. Normalization is a way of evaluating and correcting table structures. Okay? When there is evaluation, just you want to put in a measure and see what is, how these things are. So we need to have the scale. How do you have to measure? So it's a way of evaluating or correcting the table structure, period. Okay? Now, if you do that, what do you want to achieve? What do you want to achieve? The achievement is here. Number 1, minimize data redundancy or data redundancy. Okay? Number two, reduce data anomalies. Anomalies means unwanted. Okay, that's called reduce data. Unwanted data. Data redundancy means what? What does it mean, data redundancy? Speak loud. Did you hear data redundancy?
So
Yes.
basically, copies of the same data, which like having copies of the same data, but there's like each data has different type of new data in it, but it's not all together. So it makes data inconsistency with these together.
In one word, data redundancy means huh? Data inconsistency. Data, we are complicating, guys. Data inconsistency means duplicating, right? Or multiple copies of the same data in a table. So we want to minimize or even remove them because we don't need to have the duplicated unwanted. You may have a duplicate, for example. If you have primary key and a foreign key, you're going to have what? Duplicate foreign keys. In what? In super entities. Do you remember super entities? Super entities and the sub entities. That will come in, right after the quiz. We have covered that one, right? The super entities, weak entities, and the sub entities. I think this we have seen. So that's why we need to normalize the table. All right. So we need to normalize the table by removing the data redundancy and also by assigning attribute to the table based on the determination what they belong to. Okay. So these are the forms which we shall study. If time allows, we will go to the fourth one, which is BCFN, or Boyce Code normal form, BCNF normal form, and also the fourth one. So, but today I'll try my best to cover almost three. But in the case if you feel that is overloaded, we may reduce into two. You can take one and two and do some exercises, to strengthen understanding on this. Now, what does it mean, the first normal form? Okay, what does it mean, the first normal form? The first normal form, I will give you some examples which you can be able to understand here. Let me okay. I'll start with the following. I want to share once again this. Okay, I'll start with the following part here. We need to look to the normalization here, this form which you have here. So I will mention here something called fast NF. Sorry, fast NF, which stands for what? Fast normal form. All right, fast normal form. I start by giving you, the rules which you need to follow in the fast normal form. All right, the rules which you can follow in the fast normal form. In the fast normal form, it says that each, each table cell should contain a single value. Simple to understand. Fast normal form, what does it say? Each table cell should contain a single value. A single value. I'll give you an example here for you to get it. Let me try to I'm going to put, for example, the 2 columns will be enough. Let me put 3, right? Let me add some of them. All right. Take this as an example. Let's take an example. You have a table for this. This is a student table. You have student ID, and you have student name, and let's say you have contact. Let's say contact number. In a student ID, you have, let's say your registration is 2022-001, and the student name is gonna be Jonathan. And his contact number is gonna be 079808976. Let's say this is a contact number. And also, you may have another contact number, let's say, which can be 09, so on. All right? This is a contact number. All right? Or even here, we can put Jonathan Tambani, right?
Without the H.
Without H. Okay, so, okay. Jonathan Tambani, you can have a second student here, 2021 and 008. We mini, yes, mini, he cannot mean. Mini Arca. And the mini Arcari has 09. Okay. Okay, so let's say I may put the same. He can have, let's say he has one contact, no problem. And here we have 2022. Johanat, right? So Johanat, he has the following contact number. Okay, we have this contact number. All right, so I think this would be enough. I think this is enough. I don't need that row. So this is the table name. So remember that this one which we have here is what? So we have this as a table name. This is a table. The table which you have here is known as student table. Okay. We have this as a student table. All right. So now we need to apply the first normal form. What is the rule for the 1F? 1F. Each table cell should contain what? Single value. Now here, what will you do? What will you do here? So now we want to make this into normal form, right? We are going to make this into normal form. So what would happen? We take Tambani here, right? We take Tambani here. We take Tambani and we say, what will be the first one? Jonah? No. First, tell me. I want you to detect me as a people who understood this one. What will you do here first of all? Okay, we remove Tambani. So you want to have a Jonathan only, right? Okay. The first option, he said that we can have Jonathan. Okay. And here, choose one number. So let's say we have a 78, 97623. What about the other number? No need. Okay. Okay. What about here? Okay. 2021008. And here, Arca. And here, Zero. Okay, so it's same, right? All right. All right. So 5, 6. How about the last one? Okay. Okay. Is that correct? Is that correct? It is correct? Yes. So you may say this is a normalization, right? But this is wrong. Why do you take his name? Why do you take his name out? His name is Jonathan Tambani. Why do you want you to call him only Jonathan? Uh-huh. So the number will be removed, right?
Is it the comma?
No, this is just to mention that the two numbers are there.
Basically, they can only have single value, right?
Yes.
Jonathan Tambani can be a name or
Okay.
so if there's a comma, that means there are two values. There's no comma that we can put it as.
Okay. So you can, but you have seen, we enter data like this way, right? We put the data like this. If you have a two contact, you give two numbers, right? When you are writing, right? This is correct. This is the correct way of, storing information.
This is correct.
Okay. So what I said here, when you want to apply the normal form, you need to think the business rules. Remember the business rules? The business rules are very important. Business rules means what the policy for organization regarding the data. For example, we want to have all contact of the employees. If first number is not working, you can have a second number. It's correct, right? We need to have both names. So here, to solve this one, we don't remove. We don't remove. What do we do? You have to split your table or add some columns. You remember we add what? Add column. You remember that? The first case here, for the name here, you can make first name and last name. Correct? So here, I may add one more part here. So
You want to make another Jonathan.
exactly. So we put exactly, that's what it means. Yes. Oh, where to add. Why the table is not adding? A table. Okay, let me draw it here. All right, let me try to draw it one more column here, but it's not giving me the flavor which I want. So what is the add column? Okay, so we can add one more column here. Let me put the right on the left, on the right. So let's say this is gonna be last name. Last name, I give like this. And here we can have Tambani. Tambani. And when it comes to the mobile number, what will you do? What about the second number here? Remove like this way? No. What will happen for the first number form? You will have again Tambani with the two numbers. Sorry. Okay. So here you have the second number, which is there, right? Which is 0909. Sorry. Here you will have 09 something which we added there. 0988098. So this is will be the perfect way of solving. Coming to mini archive, you're going to put where? Archive here, right? if this is a second name, right? Let's say if it is, he has two names like that way, we cannot have multiple what? Multiple values in a single cell. So here, what do we have here? It will be mini, right? Or either one can be there. So Jonathan, John adds, he does not have. So as you can see, this is known as what? First normal form. A single cell should contain single value. Okay? No multiple values. No multiple values. So this is a first rule of building the proper, database tables. All right? So this is following what? This is following the first rule. So okay, you may get it. This is gonna be what? This is gonna be first normal rule. So this is follow 1NF. Sorry, first normal rule. All right. So this is the way we can do. So this is the first rule. All right. So hope this first rule is very clear, right? And the second part here, the second one, which you can have here, we can have the second NF, the second normal form, or 2NF. What does the second normal form says? The second normal form, they has the following criteria. It says table should be in first normal form. That's rule number one. A table should be in first normal form. Sorry, first normal form. All right. The second rule says that it should, right? It should have partial dependency. I will explain to you what does it mean, the partial dependency here now. So the first rule, the table should be where? Should be in the first normal form. The second rule, the table should be in first, should have a partial dependency. Dependency. Partial dependency means that the primary key should be associated to all the column in the table. Or, put in simple words, primary key should be related to all the column of the table. You understand? The primary key of a table should be related or should be connected or should have a meaning to the columns of that table. I'll give you an example here. Let me take one more table here, the same table here. Let me copy this and I paste it here. I have this table, and let me change this table. This I'm gonna call, this be a lecture ID, and this is gonna be course name. And let me put here, this is gonna be course fees, right? Let's say the same registrar. Let's say this is gonna be registrar ID. This is gonna be, let's say this is gonna be course name. Let course name be database design, and How much you pay for this? 7,300. Let me say. Just pay a say. Let's say we have computing platform. Computing platform. Let the price be 7,050. Let the third one be, let this be, what else? System analysis design. System analysis design. So how much here? Let's say this is gonna be 8,040. Just assume, right? Right. So now the first rule for the second normal form says what? Table should be in what? 1F. Is it in 1F? Yes, right? Yes. Don't think too much about this one, the course name here, right? System analysis is system analysis is a system analysis. You cannot say, you know, system is the first name, analysis is the second name. No, it's a system analysis. Even database design, same name. Computing platform, same name, right? So don't try to separate them and give this is first word, second word, like that. All right. So is it first normal form? Yes. Now we look to the data dependency or partial dependency. Mr. Philip, I mentioned that the primary key of a table should connect or should have the proper meaning to what? To all the column. Remember, this table, let's say this table which we have here is called, let me call this table. Let me call this table to be, let this table be teacher's table. Teacher table, right? Teacher table. You create a table, and the table which you can call a teacher table. This table is fine, right? Because the teacher is teaching what? Course. And every course is related to what? To the fee. It makes sense, right? It makes sense. But in a database design, this is a disaster. This is disaster. Because the meaning of the table is a teacher table. He does not care about the price. He only knows ID, lecturer ID, primary key, and the course name. You understand? So for the second normal form, this table should be divided into two tables. One for what? Course, another one for fees. You understand? So in the second normal form, it says there should be partial dependency. Lecturer ID. It doesn't have anything to do with course fees. I don't know how much you pay for database design. I don't know. I know my course. I know the course which I'm teaching, right? Same way, student, he doesn't know how much salary I'm earning. He just knows the teacher and the course which I'm teaching. If I put here salary, then you need to know you have to put where? Normal, second normal form. You understand? You understand, Sozin? Sozin, do you understand? Pardon me? Pardon me? I repeat one more time. I repeat one more time. First, second normal form should be in first normal form. That's rule number one. Commandment number one. Commandment number two, a table should have a partial dependency. Partial dependency means what? The primary key should be related to all the columns in that table. Primary key for this lecture ID is not related to these. So this table, what solution? Solution is split. Create another table, right? So that's what we're gonna do here. So once you understand this, then the rest of the things will be perfect. So I'm going to separate this one. Let's say this is gonna be split into two. Which one is a good splitter? Which one is a good splitter? Okay. Let me check the one which will be. Okay. Let me try to make the following. Okay. So we say that this table, which you have above here, is going to be split into two tables, right? So what is going to be those two tables? So we're going to have those two tables. One is going to be, let's say, teacher table, right? Or teacher, let's say teacher course, right? And what's going to be the second one? Course fee, right? Here we can have course and fees. Course fee. Right? So I put teacher here, or we put the same name which I've used, right? Lecture, right? There's a table. Table in the lecture, does not make sense. Let's say lecture table. That's gonna be lecture table. And here we have also lecture course. Okay, lecture course. So we split into these two. The table is going to be into two. So when the table becomes into two, what are you going to do here? What will you do? Which one? Which one? This one? You mentioned this one? The top one? Okay. The lecture course you take lecture ID and course, right? And second one here, you take course and fees, which are rated. Now, for the task which we do, right after the break time, you will create this table with the relationship. I mentioned foreign key. Now there you are, Matthew. Foreign key now is going to play important role here. Okay, if you break this one, you will create another table, which is called what? Let's say lecture course, and then that table it can contain. What is going to contain? Course. Let's say course details, right? Course details. One can be foreign key, who is teaching, how much, things can be related. So you will create a table called course detail. So this is going to be your task. Please make sure you do in the lab session, right? So this is going to be course detail. You create a table, create a course detail table, right? Course detail table to connect what? Those two tables, lecturer ID, lecture course, and course fee, right? And the course fee. So this is known as what? Second normal form. The bell has rung. We shall resume after the break. All right, so we are back. We are back where we have stopped from. Yeah, the second part which I want to initiate now is going to be it's going to be the rap session, and we try to understand this more. All right, so we try to understand this part in more details. But before you go further into the lab session, I have one more thing to add on this one so that you can go straight to do both at the same time. So the second one here, I want each and everyone to do it individually, personally. This one, okay? This one. You have the following. Yes. Oh. Pardon me. Huh? Lab will be after this, right? Okay. You have the following table. You have the following table. Let me create it here. For the sake of this, I may put like only this column. So the table which you have here, let's say you have the order ID. Let's say you have order ID, you have customer ID, you have customer name, you have customer address, we have order date, you have price, you have quantity. Yes, you have a quantity. Okay, I think this will be enough. I'm supposed to add one more. Okay, so this is, I think this is clear, right? As I mentioned, I want to check each and every one of you. Let there be no excuse. I want to check what you're gonna do to this one. Do it sincerely with your I mean, based on what you understood, do it. I will check. So what you need to do here, what I'm mentioning here is what I'm mentioning here, create the first NF and second NF from that above table. So I will give you the value here. Here we have, let's say here we have odd, this is O. Let's say this is transaction 1, 2. And here we have customer 1. And the name is going to be and here we have the address Wakrek Saraburi And here we have the order date. Let's say it's today's date is for 15, 16. 15, right? Are you 15?
16.
16, yeah. We are 10, 16, 10, 16, the year 2023. And the price is gonna be 230. And the quantity is gonna be 3, right? The quantity is gonna be 3. And also you can have like 6 quantities. And another one here, we have T13, and it's gonna be customer 2. It's going to be Morgan. His name is Morgan Philip, and he lives in Solomon or Mark Lake. And the other date is also is on 16, 10, 15. We ordered. Huh? The table name here, the table name, good. So the table name is purchase table. Yes, purchase table. The table name is purchase table. So here, I try to okay. So that's the day. It's gonna be 1,000, and he ordered 6 or 7 quantities. So create the 1F and the 2F, 2NF from the above table. Purchase data, purchase table. All right. What happened? Oh, no problem. You can discuss anytime.
So could you zoom in, sir?
You want me to zoom in or to?
I cannot see your table. It's like your comma is
Oops.
like very. Yes.
Where? Here? You want me to zoom?
On the table, sir, could you zoom? Like, could you make the table of because we cannot see the comma properly.
Is it now clear? Is it clear? Is it clear, Mr.
Yes, sir. Now my sir, okay, sir.
Please do it. First you create
This one, sir.
yeah this one. Either in your computers, I come and check. Okay, create 1F and the second F from the above table. Yeah.
Sir, the stolen count as
Huh? Which one?
sir, the stolen count as two values or one value?
Are you do that? Do it. Do it. I will see. Which one? Yeah. So whatever things you identify, I will come and check. Yeah. So do it individually. Think it, and then work on it. Thank you. Thank you. It is.
See, if comfortable respect, it cannot have two values. What is the primary? Sir, what's the primary? What's the primary key?
1 minute.
But there's no primary key mentioned, right? A primary key cannot have.
I cannot mention. Because when you see other ID or IDs, you should think which one should be the primary keys.
So it's not the problem like what we think. The problem is that a single ID cannot have two values.
Huh? Which one? Yes.
We need to make another column, right? So it
Yes.
will not let us make another column because it's primary. Primary can only be one.
Yes, primary can be one, yes. What did you learn about foreign key?
No, so the problem is you want us to create one F, right? So with one F we duplicate the value, right? And we change it like we make another column with 6. But if you put anything as primary key, it will not let us put another one.
First you create for the F, and then that one you sort it by eliminating.
Okay. That's why we use only one value.
Yes.
Only one, right?
Yes.
Yeah, only one will be different.
Yeah.
Is it
So what's the table name?
The table name is down there. I'm sorry. Maybe I have added so many. Purchase table. Purchased table. Which table is which?
We need to create this table first and we do the values first, then we make one F and we make two.
Pardon me?
For the advance, it's supposed to be only one.
Which one?
The advance.
No, this is this.
Like if each parabola,
Yes, you can.
it's supposed to be separate to the right. Doing it to the right is separate because there's no like side.
Okay, pretty good. That's really good. So yes, you can make it
Just
instead.
straight instead of
You want to take. Okay, you can try it. Yes, I see.